A trucker finishing his night shift heard tiny knuckles hammering on his door. He opened it to find a shivering child clutching a backpack, tears frozen on her cheeks. She whispered 6 words that made his blood run cold, and he followed her straight into a snowstorm he knew he might not survive. Logan twisted the fuel nozzle back into place and watched the numbers on the pump freeze at $34,762. The snow was coming down harder now, turning the parking lot into a white sheet that swallowed tire tracks within minutes. He'd been driving for 11 hours straight, and his body was screaming for a bed, but the storm had other plans. He climbed back into the cab of his 18-wheeler and started filling out his logbook. The fuel station was nearly empty, just one sedan parked near the convenience store and a minivan with its engine running. Smart people were already home. Stupid people were still on the road. Logan wasn't sure which category he fell into anymore. The knock came at 11:47 p.m. Not a polite tap. Not a hesitant brush of knuckles. It was frantic, desperate, the kind of sound that made his stomach drop before he even turned his head. Logan threw open the driver's side door and found himself staring down at a little girl. She couldn't have been older than 8. Her dark hair was plastered to her face with melted snow, and her pink jacket was too thin for weather like this. She was shaking so hard he could hear her teeth chattering. In one hand, she clutched a purple backpack covered in unicorn stickers. "Please," she gasped. "Please, sir. My mom didn't come home last night." Logan's first instinct was to look around for an adult, a parent, a guardian, anyone. But the parking lot was empty except for the falling snow. "What's your name, sweetheart?" he asked, crouching down to her level. "Anna," her voice cracked. "My mom works at the diner down the road. She always comes home by midnight. But she didn't come home. And I know where she went. I know where she is." Logan felt his chest tighten. This wasn't a lost kid. This was something worse. "Where are your parents right now? Who's looking after you?" "It's just me and my mom," Anna said, tears streaming down her cheeks. "She's all I have. And I think something bad happened to her." "I know it did." Logan glanced toward the convenience store. Through the foggy windows, he could see the clerk scrolling on his phone, oblivious. No one else was around. He could call the police, but in this storm, it would take them an hour to get here, maybe more. And if this little girl was right, if her mother was in danger, an hour could mean the difference between life and death. "All right," Logan said, making a decision he hoped he wouldn't regret. "Come on. Get in the truck. We'll figure this out." He lifted Anna into the cab and wrapped a blanket around her shoulders. She sat in the passenger seat, still clutching that backpack like it was the only solid thing in the world. Logan turned the heat up full blast and handed her a bottle of water from his cooler. "Drink this. Then tell me everything." Anna took a shaky sip and wiped her eyes. "My mom works night shifts at the Bluebird Diner. She's a waitress. Last night, she said she'd be home by midnight like always. But she never came. I waited all night. I thought maybe she got stuck because of the snow, but her phone goes straight to voicemail. And this morning, I went to the diner, and they said she left early." "Did they say why?" Anna nodded. "The cook said she was talking to a man in the parking lot. He said my mom looked scared." Logan's jaw tightened. "Did he say who the man was?" "No. But my mom was carrying something. Something important. She called it the key." "The key to what?" "I don't know," Anna's voice dropped to a whisper. "But she told me if anything ever happened to her, should find someone I trust and tell them about it. She said it was the only way to keep us safe." Logan stared at the little girl, and a cold weight settled in his gut. This wasn't just a missing person case. This was something dangerous. "Why didn't you go to the police?" he asked gently. Anna looked down at her hands. My mom said we couldn't. She said the people after her were powerful. She said if we went to the police, they'd find us. Logan rubbed his face. He was a trucker, not a detective. He hauled freight from one side of the country to the other, kept his head down, and minded his own business. But when he looked at Anna, at the fear in her eyes, at the way she was trembling even under the blanket, he knew he couldn't walk away. "All right," he said. "Where do you think your mom went?" Anna sat up straighter, and for the first time, there was a flicker of hope in her expression. "The diner. We have to go to the diner. That's where she was last." Logan nodded and put the truck into gear. The engine rumbled to life, and the wipers scraped snow off the windshield in heavy, rhythmic sweeps. As they pulled out of the fuel station and onto the dark highway, Anna looked up at him with wide, trusting eyes. "Thank you," she whispered. Logan didn't respond. He just gripped the steering wheel tighter and focused on the road ahead. Because deep down, he had a feeling this was going to be a long night. And he was right. The Bluebird Diner sat at the edge of the highway like a forgotten relic from another decade. Its neon sign flickered weakly through the snow, casting blue shadows across the empty parking lot. Logan pulled the truck into a space near the entrance and killed the engine. "Stay close to me," he told Anna. She nodded and slipped her hand into his. It was small and cold, and Logan felt the weight of responsibility settle over him like a second skin. Inside, the diner was nearly empty. A tired-looking waitress wiped down tables in the corner, and behind the counter, a heavy-set man with a grease-stained apron flipped burgers on the grill. The smell of coffee and fried food filled the air. The cook looked up when they walked in. His eyes narrowed when he saw Anna. "Anna? What are you doing here this late?" "This is my friend," Anna said quickly, squeezing Logan's hand. "He's helping me find my mom." The cook's expression softened, but there was worry in his eyes. "Your mom left early last night, sweetie. I already told you that." Logan stepped forward. "I'm Logan. Anna says her mom was talking to someone in the parking lot before she left. Do you remember what happened?" The cook wiped his hands on his apron and sighed. "Yeah, I remember. It was around 10 o'clock. Maria, Anna's mom, she was finishing her shift when this guy showed up. I didn't recognize him, but he looked like trouble. Expensive suit, slicked back hair. He was arguing with her about something." "Did you hear what they were saying?" "Not really. But Maria looked scared. Really scared. After a few minutes, she grabbed her coat and ran out to her car. The guy followed her. I watched through the window, and I saw her get in her car and drive off. He got in his own car right after and followed her." Logan's stomach twisted. "Did you get a look at his car?" "Black sedan. Looked new. That's all I remember." Anna tugged on Logan's sleeve. "Can we see the cameras? My mom said this place has cameras in the parking lot." The cook hesitated, then nodded. "Yeah, we've got security footage. Come on back." He led them into a cramped office behind the kitchen. A small monitor sat on a cluttered desk, connected to a DVR unit covered in dust. The cook rewound the footage to the previous night and hit play. Logan watched the grainy black and white feed. At 10:03 p.m., Maria appeared on screen, a thin woman in her 30s with dark hair pulled into a ponytail. She was walking quickly toward her car, glancing over her shoulder. A man in a suit appeared behind her, gesturing angrily. Maria shook her head and kept walking. Then she stopped. The man pulled something from his pocket, a phone, and showed her the screen. Maria's body went rigid. Her hand flew to her mouth. Whatever she saw on that phone, it terrified her. She said something to the man, then turned and ran to her car. The man didn't follow her immediately. He just stood there, watching, as if he knew she had nowhere to go. Anna's voice was barely a whisper. That's him. That's Mr. Garrett. Logan looked down at her. Who's Mr. Garrett? He used to be my mom's boss. She worked at his office doing bookkeeping. But she quit last week. She said she found something she wasn't supposed to see. What did she find? Anna's eyes filled with tears. I don't know. But she was really scared. She said Mr. Garrett was stealing money. A lot of money. And she had proof. Logan felt the pieces clicking into place. The key. Your mom was carrying proof, wasn't she? Anna nodded. She put it on a USB drive. She called it the key because it's the key to proving what he did. She said if anything happened to her, the police would need it. Do you know where the USB is now? My mom had it with her last night. She always kept it in her purse. Logan looked back at the monitor. Maria's car was still visible in the frame, headlights cutting through the snow. And then, just before she drove away, she reached into her purse and pulled something out, something small, and tucked it into her jacket pocket. The cook spoke up. If Maria's in trouble, you need to call the cops. No. Anna grabbed Logan's arm. My mom said we can't trust them. She said Mr. Garrett has friends everywhere. She said if we go to the police, he'll know. Logan crouched down and looked Anna in the eye. If your mom's in danger, we need help. I can't do this alone. But you're not alone, Anna said, her voice trembling. I know where she went. If she was scared, she'd go to the cabin. The one in the mountains. We stayed there once when the power went out at our apartment. She said it was our safe place. Logan straightened and looked at the cook. How far are the mountains from here? About 20 miles north. But the roads are a mess. Snowplows haven't been through since yesterday. Logan made his decision. We're going. Anna's face lit up with desperate hope. The cook shook his head. You're crazy, man. You'll get stuck out there. Maybe, Logan said. But I'm not leaving a woman out there to die. He took Anna's hand, and together, they walked back into the storm. The highway turned into a narrow two-lane road that wound up into the mountains like a black ribbon disappearing into white nothingness. Logan's headlights barely cut through the wall of falling snow. His windshield wipers worked overtime, scraping ice with each pass. Anna sat quietly in the passenger seat, her face pressed against the window. She hadn't spoken in 15 minutes, and Logan wondered if she was praying. How much farther? He asked. There's a turnoff, Anna said softly. My mom always said to look for the broken mailbox shaped like a barn. It's red. Logan nodded and slowed the truck to a crawl. The roads were getting worse. Snow had piled up in drifts that reached halfway up his tires, and he could feel the truck sliding with each turn. If they got stuck out here, they'd freeze before morning. There. Anna pointed suddenly. Logan saw it, a tilted mailbox barely visible through the snow, its red paint faded and chipped. He turned onto a dirt road that was more ice than dirt now, and the truck's engine groaned in protest as the wheels fought for traction. The road climbed steeply, twisting through dense forest. Branches heavy with snow scraped against the sides of the truck like skeletal fingers. Logan's knuckles were white on the steering wheel. And then, through the trees, he saw it. A car. It was parked at an awkward angle on the side of the road, driver's door hanging open. Snow had already started to cover the hood, but the engine was still ticking, metallic clicks in the cold air that meant it hadn't been here long. That's her car. Anna's voice cracked with emotion. That's my mom's car. Logan pulled the truck to a stop and grabbed a flashlight from the glove compartment. Stay here. Lock the doors. No. Anna grabbed his arm. I'm coming with you. Logan wanted to argue, but the desperation in her eyes stopped him. All right. But you stay right behind me. Understand? Anna nodded. They climbed out into the storm. The wind hit Logan like a physical force, and Anna stumbled. He caught her and pulled her close. Together, they trudged through the knee-deep snow toward Maria's car. The driver's side door was wide open, and the interior light was still on, casting a weak yellow glow. Logan shone his flashlight inside. The keys were still in the ignition. Maria's purse sat on the passenger seat, contents spilled across the floor, lipstick, loose change, a crumpled receipt. But no phone. No wallet. No USB drive. Logan's stomach sank. She left in a hurry, he muttered. Anna leaned past him and picked up something from the floor. It was a small silver bracelet with a heart-shaped charm. Her hands trembled as she held it. "This is my mom's," she whispered. "I gave it to her for her birthday." Logan squeezed her shoulder gently. "We're going to find her." He stepped back and swept his flashlight across the ground. The snow was disturbed, footprints leading away from the car into the forest. He crouched down and studied them carefully. 2 sets of prints. One smaller, hurried. A woman's boots. The other larger, deliberate. Men's shoes. "Someone followed her," Logan said quietly. Anna's breath came in short, panicked gasps. "We have to go after her. We have to find her now." Logan looked at the trail disappearing into the dark woods. Every instinct told him this was a bad idea. Following unknown tracks into a snowstorm at night was how people died. But when he looked at Anna, at the tears freezing on her cheeks, at the desperate hope in her eyes, he knew he couldn't turn back now. "All right," he said. "But stay close. And if I tell you to run, you run. Got it?" Anna nodded. Logan pulled a tire iron from the truck and handed Anna a spare flashlight. Then they started walking. The forest was silent except for the crunch of snow under their boots and the howl of wind through the trees. The footprints were easy to follow at first, but as they moved deeper into the woods, the snow began to cover them. After 10 minutes, Anna grabbed Logan's arm. "There. I see it." Through the trees, barely visible in the darkness, was a small cabin. It looked abandoned, windows dark, roof sagging under the weight of snow. But there was something wrong. The front door was open. Not just unlocked. Broken. The wood around the handle was splintered, and the door hung crooked on its hinges. Logan's grip tightened on the tire iron. "Anna, I need you to stay behind me. No matter what." She nodded, her face pale. They approached the cabin slowly. Logan's flashlight beam swept across the snow-covered porch. There were more footprints here, lots of them, all jumbled together like there had been a struggle. He pushed the door open wider and stepped inside. The beam of his flashlight revealed chaos. Furniture overturned. Broken dishes scattered across the floor. And near the fireplace, a dark stain on the wooden planks. Blood. Anna gasped and covered her mouth. Logan's heart was pounding now. He moved deeper into the cabin, sweeping his light across every corner. The place had been ransacked, drawers pulled open, cushions torn apart, as if someone had been searching for something. And then he saw it. Hanging from a nail on the wall, covered in dust and barely visible in the dim light, was a blue scarf. Anna's voice was barely a whisper. "That's my mom's." Logan reached for the scarf, but Anna got there first. She pulled it down and pressed it to her face, breathing in deeply as tears streamed down her cheeks. "She was here," Anna whispered. "She was right here." Logan scanned the cabin with his flashlight, his pulse hammering in his ears. The blood near the fireplace wasn't a lot, maybe from a cut or a scrape, but it was fresh enough that it hadn't completely dried. That meant Maria had been here within the last few hours. "We need to search this place," Logan said. If your mom left any clues about where they took her, we need to find them. Anna nodded and wiped her eyes. Together, they began combing through the wreckage. Logan checked the kitchen first. Cabinets hung open, their contents dumped onto the counter. Canned food, old newspapers, a rusted coffee tin. Nothing useful. He moved to the bedroom, a small space with a bare mattress and a toppled dresser. The drawers had been yanked out and thrown across the floor. Whoever had torn this place apart was looking for something specific. The USB drive. Anna called out from the main room. Logan. Come here. He rushed back to find her crouched near the couch, holding something small in her hand. A voice recorder. It was under the couch, Anna said, her voice shaking. I almost missed it. Logan took the recorder and pressed play. Static crackled for a moment, and then Maria's voice filled the cabin, breathless, terrified. If you're hearing this, if something happens to me. Anna, baby, I'm so sorry. I never wanted you to be part of this. The USB key, it proves everything. Bank transfers, fake invoices, all of it. Mr. Garrett has been stealing from his company for years. Millions of dollars. And when I found out, he said he'd make sure I disappeared. There was a pause, and Logan heard Maria's ragged breathing. Then another voice in the background, a man's voice, cold and precise. You should have minded your own business, Maria. Anna's hand flew to her mouth. That's him. That's Mr. Garrett. Maria's voice came again, more frantic now. Anna, if you find this, don't come looking for me. Run. Take the key and give it to someone you trust. Someone who can. The recording cut off abruptly. Silence filled the cabin. Logan felt ice in his veins. This wasn't just a kidnapping. This was a woman being hunted by someone powerful enough to make her vanish without a trace. He looked at Anna. Your mom mentioned the USB key. Do you have any idea where it is? Anna shook her head, tears spilling over. She had it with her. She always kept it in her purse. But her purse was in the car, Logan said. And the USB wasn't there. Anna bit her lip, thinking hard. Then her eyes widened. Wait. My mom always said that important things should be hidden where no one would think to look. She used to hide my birthday presents inside old books and in the freezer. Logan glanced around the cabin. So she could have hidden it here before they took her. Maybe. They tore through the cabin again, this time more carefully. Logan checked inside the couch cushions, under the floorboards, behind loose wall panels. Anna searched the kitchen, opening every cabinet and container. Nothing. Logan was about to give up when Anna gasped. She was standing by the fireplace, holding a small metal box. It had been wedged into the chimney, covered in soot and barely visible in the darkness. Logan, look. He crossed the room in 2 strides. Anna opened the box with trembling hands. Inside was a USB drive wrapped in plastic. She hid it, Anna breathed. She hid it so they wouldn't find it. Logan took the drive and slipped it into his jacket pocket. This is evidence. This could save your mom's life. But we need to be smart about how we use it. Anna looked up at him, hope flickering in her tear-streaked face. What do we do now? Logan was about to answer when his phone buzzed in his pocket. He pulled it out and frowned. It was a text from an unknown number. We know you have the girl. Bring the key to the old storage barn on Route 9. Midnight. Come alone, or Maria dies. Logan's blood turned to ice. They know we're here, he said quietly. How? Anna's voice trembled. Logan's mind raced. The only way they could have known was if someone had been watching them. Or if Maria's phone was being tracked. He looked at Anna. Does your mom's phone have a tracking app? Anna nodded slowly. She put one on it so I could always find her if I needed to. That means they can track her phone. And if they've been following us. Logan trailed off, realization dawning. They know we have the key. Anna grabbed his arm. What do we do? Logan stared at the message on his phone. His first instinct was to call the police, but Maria's warning echoed in his mind. Mr. Garrett has friends everywhere. He couldn't trust the system. Not yet. But he wasn't alone. Logan pulled out his CB radio and switched it to the trucker emergency channel. This is Big Rig Logan calling all drivers in the northern zone. I need backup. Repeat, I need immediate backup. Static crackled. Then a gruff voice responded. Copy that, Logan. What's your 20? Logan smiled grimly. I'm about to start a war. Within 20 minutes, Logan's CB radio was buzzing with responses. Big Rig Logan, this is Hammer. I'm 15 miles south. What's the situation? Logan, it's Diesel Dave. I'm at the truck stop on Route 7. Talk to me. This is Mama Bear. I've got a full load but I'll dump it if you need me. What's going on? Logan held the radio to his mouth, his voice steady despite the adrenaline coursing through his veins. I've got a hostage situation. Woman named Maria Silva was kidnapped by a man named Garrett, some corporate criminal type. He's holding her at the old storage barn on Route 9. He wants a USB drive with evidence that'll put him away for life. Meeting set for midnight. There was a pause on the line. Then Hammer's voice came back, harder now. You got law enforcement involved? Negative. The woman said they can't be trusted. Garrett's got connections. Another voice crackled through, older, authoritative. Logan, this is Silver Fox. I've been driving these roads for 30 years. If you're saying what I think you're saying, you're asking us to blockade a criminal operation. That's exactly what I'm asking, Logan said. I need every road in and out of that barn locked down. No one gets in. No one gets out. We hold the line until the state police can get through the storm. Silence stretched across the channel. Logan glanced at Anna, who was watching him with wide, hopeful eyes. Then Silver Fox spoke again. I'm in. Hammer's in. Diesel Dave's in. Mama Bear's rolling. One by one, voices crackled through the radio. 12 truckers. 12 rigs. All converging on a single point. Logan felt something loosen in his chest. He wasn't alone anymore. All right, listen up, Logan said. The barn is surrounded by 3 access roads. I need 4 rigs on the north entrance, 4 on the south, and 4 on the east side. Block every exit. If anyone tries to leave, you box them in. No violence unless they start it first. We're not vigilantes, we're just making sure justice gets served. Copy that, Silver Fox said. What about you? I'm going in with the drive. If they want it, they're going to get it. But they're not leaving with it. You sure about that, Logan? Mama Bear's voice was concerned. You're walking into a trap. I know, Logan said quietly. But it's the only way to make sure Maria stays alive. He switched off the radio and looked at Anna. I need you to stay in the truck. Lock the doors. No matter what happens, you don't come out until I tell you it's safe. No, Anna's voice was firm. I'm coming with you. Anna. She's my mom, Anna said, tears welling up again. I'm not letting you do this alone. Logan wanted to argue, but there was something in her eyes, something fierce and unbreakable, that reminded him of his own daughter, years ago, before the divorce took her away. He sighed. All right. But you stay behind me. And if things go bad, you run. Promise me. Anna nodded. I promise. Logan checked his watch. 11:30 p.m. They had 30 minutes. He started the truck and pulled back onto the mountain road, heading toward Route 9. The snow was still falling, but the storm seemed to be losing its strength. The sky was lighter now, almost gray instead of black. As they drove, Logan's CB radio crackled to life again. Logan, it's Hammer. We're in position on the north side. 4 rigs lined up bumper to bumper. Nothing's getting through. South side secured, Diesel Dave reported. We've got eyes on the barn. 2 vehicles parked outside. Black sedan and a white van. East side locked down, Mama Bear added. We're ready when you are. Logan felt a grim smile tug at his lips. Garrett had no idea what was coming. He glanced at Anna. Your mom's going to be okay. I promise. Anna nodded, clutching her backpack tightly. The storage barn came into view 10 minutes later. It was an old, decrepit structure with rusted metal siding and a sagging roof. 2 vehicles sat in the gravel lot, just like Diesel Dave had said. The black sedan had its engine running, exhaust visible in the cold air. Logan parked the truck 50 yards away and killed the engine. This is it, he said. Remember, stay behind me. He grabbed the USB drive from his pocket and slipped it into Anna's backpack. Then he pulled out a dummy drive, one he'd found in his glove compartment, and put it in his jacket. If Garrett wanted to play games, Logan would play too. They climbed out of the truck and walked toward the barn. The gravel crunched under their boots, and Logan could feel eyes watching them from inside. The barn door creaked open, and a man stepped out. He was tall, mid-50s, with slicked-back hair and a tailored coat that looked too expensive for a place like this. His eyes were cold and calculating. You must be the trucker, Garrett said, his voice smooth. I was expecting you to come alone. Logan stopped 10 feet away. The girl wanted to see her mother. Garrett's gaze flicked to Anna, and something dark passed across his face. Brave little thing, isn't she? Just like her mother. Where is she? Logan demanded. Garrett smiled. Inside. But first, let's talk about the key. Logan pulled the dummy USB from his pocket and held it up. You want it? Let Maria go first. Garrett's smile widened. I don't think you understand how this works. He snapped his fingers. And the barn door opened wider. 2 men dragged Maria out of the barn. She was barely conscious, her face bruised and her clothes torn. Her wrists were bound with zip ties, and blood trickled from a cut above her eyebrow. When she saw Anna, her eyes went wide with horror. No, Maria gasped. Anna, no, you shouldn't be here. Mom. Anna tried to run forward, but Logan caught her arm and held her back. Garrett watched the scene with cold amusement. Touching. Really? But we're wasting time. Give me the USB drive, and you can have her back. Logan's grip tightened on the dummy drive. His mind was racing. The truckers were in position, but if he made the wrong move now, Garrett's men could kill Maria before anyone could stop them. Let her go first, Logan said. Then you get the drive. Garrett laughed, a sharp, humorless sound. You think I'm stupid? The drive first. Then you get the woman. Logan hesitated. This was the moment. If he handed over the dummy drive, Garrett would realize it was fake the second he checked it. But if Logan refused, Maria would die. Anna tugged on his sleeve, her voice barely a whisper. Trust me. Logan looked down at her, confused. But there was something in her eyes, a plan, maybe, that made him pause. He held out the dummy USB drive. Fine, Logan said. Take it. One of Garrett's men stepped forward and snatched the drive from Logan's hand. He walked it back to Garrett, who pulled out a laptop from inside the barn and plugged it in. The seconds stretched into eternity. Garrett's face darkened as he stared at the screen. Then his eyes snapped up to Logan, filled with rage. "This is blank," he hissed. "You think you can play me?" Logan raised his hands slowly. "I think you're a coward who kidnaps women because he can't face the consequences of his own crimes." Garrett's jaw clenched. "Kill them. All of them." The two men holding Maria drew their guns. But before they could fire, Anna stepped forward and pulled her backpack off her shoulders. "Wait," she shouted. Everyone froze. Anna unzipped the backpack and reached inside, not for the USB drive, but for something else. She pulled out a worn teddy bear with button eyes and a stitched smile. "My mom told me something once," Anna said, her voice trembling but clear. "She said that the most important things should always be hidden where no one thinks to look." She squeezed the teddy bear's stomach, and a small zipper hidden in the seam popped open. Anna reached inside and pulled out the real USB drive. "This is what you want, isn't it?" she said. Garrett's eyes locked onto the drive like a predator spotting prey. "Give it to me. Now. Let my mom go first." Garrett's smile was vicious. "You're not in a position to negotiate, little girl." "Maybe not," Anna said. "But he is." She pointed behind Garrett. Garrett turned, and his face went pale. Emerging from the darkness around the barn were the headlights of 12 massive trucks. They rolled forward slowly, methodically, their engines rumbling like thunder. They formed a perfect circle around the barn, blocking every exit, their high beams flooding the area with blinding light. Logan's CB radio crackled on his belt. Silver Fox's voice boomed through the speaker. "This is Silver Fox to all units. Target is surrounded. No one leaves this barn. Repeat, no one leaves." Garrett's men looked around frantically, guns raised but useless against the wall of steel surrounding them. Logan stepped forward, his voice calm. "You've got two choices, Garrett. You can let Maria go and wait for the state police to arrive. Or you can try to shoot your way out of here and see how far you get." Garrett's hand trembled with rage. "You have no idea who you're dealing with." "Maybe not," Logan said. "But I know one thing, you're done." For a long moment, no one moved. The only sound was the idling engines of the trucks and the whistle of wind through the trees. Then Maria spoke, her voice weak but defiant. "It's over, Garrett. Even if you kill us, that USB drive has already been copied. It's in 3 different places. You can't stop what's coming." Garrett's eyes widened. "You're bluffing." "Am I?" Maria smiled through the blood on her lips. "You taught me to always have a backup plan. Remember?" Garrett's face twisted with fury. He lunged toward Anna, reaching for the USB drive. But Logan was faster. He grabbed Garrett by the collar and slammed him against the barn wall. The laptop fell from Garrett's hands and shattered on the gravel. "Touch her," Logan growled, "and I'll make sure you never touch anything again." Garrett struggled, but Logan's grip was iron. Suddenly, sirens wailed in the distance, faint at first, then growing louder. Red and blue lights flickered through the trees as 3 state police cruisers finally broke through the snow-covered roads and pulled into the clearing. The officers jumped out, guns drawn. "Hands up. Everyone on the ground." Garrett's men dropped their weapons immediately. They knew when they were beaten. One of the officers approached Logan. "Are you the one who called this in?" Logan nodded toward the circle of trucks. "We all did." The officer looked around at the 12 rigs surrounding the barn and shook his head in disbelief. "Well," he said, "I'll be damned." Maria collapsed into Anna's arms, sobbing. "I've got you, Mom," Anna whispered. "I've got you." The state police moved quickly, securing Garrett's men and putting them in handcuffs. But Garrett himself stood frozen, staring at the USB drive still clutched in Anna's hand. "That drive," he said, his voice low and venomous, "belongs to me." The lead officer, a stern woman with captain's bars on her uniform, stepped forward. "Mr. Garrett, you're under arrest for kidnapping, assault, and—" "You don't understand," Garrett interrupted, his composure cracking. "That drive contains proprietary company information. Trade secrets. It was stolen from me." "That's a lie." Maria pushed herself up from Anna's embrace, her voice raw but strong. "That drive contains evidence of your crimes. Bank transfers to offshore accounts. Falsified invoices. You've been embezzling millions from your own company for years." Garrett's eyes flashed. "Prove it." The captain looked at Logan. "Do you have the drive?" Logan nodded toward Anna. "The kid's got it." All eyes turned to Anna. She held the USB drive tightly, her hand shaking. "Sweetie," the captain said gently, "I need you to hand that over. It's evidence." Anna looked at her mother. Maria gave her a small nod. But before Anna could move, Garrett spoke again, his voice dripping with false charm. "Captain, I'm sure we can resolve this misunderstanding. Ms. Silva was a disgruntled employee who made false accusations when she was terminated. This is nothing more than a desperate attempt at revenge." "That's not true," Anna shouted. Garrett ignored her. "I have lawyers. Very good lawyers. And they will tear apart anything on that drive. You'll spend years in court, and in the end, you'll have nothing." The captain's jaw tightened. "Mr. Garrett, I suggest you remain silent." But Garrett wasn't finished. He turned to Logan, his expression calculating. "And you, do you have any idea what you've done? Interfering in corporate matters? Participating in what amounts to an illegal blockade? My attorneys will sue you for everything you have." Logan met his gaze without flinching. "I don't have much. But I've got a clear conscience." "That's more than you can say." Garrett's face twisted with rage. In one swift motion, he lunged toward Anna, his hand reaching for the USB drive. "If I can't have it, no one will." But Anna was ready. She'd been clutching her teddy bear the entire time, and as Garrett's hand closed around her wrist, she swung the stuffed animal hard into his face. The button eye, loose and hard, struck him directly in the nose. Garrett stumbled backward, blood streaming from his nostrils. "You little—" Logan caught him by the shoulder and spun him around. "That's enough." The captain and two officers moved in immediately, forcing Garrett to his knees and cuffing his hands behind his back. "Add assaulting a minor to the charges," the captain said coldly. Garrett was screaming now, his composure completely shattered. "You can't do this. I have rights. I'll destroy all of you." The officers dragged him toward one of the patrol cars. His voice echoed across the clearing until the door slammed shut, muffling his threats. The captain turned to Anna and knelt down to her level. "Are you okay?" Anna nodded, still gripping the USB drive. "Can I see what's on that?" the captain asked gently. Anna looked at her mother again. Maria limped over, one of the paramedics supporting her, and placed a hand on Anna's shoulder. "It's okay, baby. Give it to her." Anna handed the drive to the captain, who walked to one of the patrol cars and plugged it into a laptop mounted on the dashboard. Logan and Maria followed, with Anna close behind. The screen flickered to life, displaying folder after folder of documents. Spreadsheets showing wire transfers to shell companies. Scanned invoices with forged signatures. Email chains where Garrett explicitly discussed hiding money from auditors. The captain scrolled through the files, her expression growing grimmer with each page. "This is enough to put him away for 20 years, she said quietly. "Maybe more." Maria let out a shaky breath. He said no one would believe me. He said he was untouchable. He was wrong, the captain said. She looked at Logan. You saved this woman's life tonight. You know that, right? Logan shrugged. I just did what anyone would do. No, the captain said firmly. Most people would have called 911 and gone home. You and your friends, she gestured toward the circle of trucks still surrounding the barn, you risked everything. That's not something anyone does. One of the truckers, Silver Fox, climbed down from his rig and walked over. He was an older man with a gray beard and kind eyes. We look after our own, Silver Fox said simply. And when someone needs help, we answer the call. That's the code. The other truckers emerged from their cabs, forming a loose circle around Logan, Maria, and Anna. Hammer. Diesel Dave. Mama Bear. All of them watching silently, their faces weathered but proud. The captain looked at them and shook her head in amazement. I've been in law enforcement for 15 years. I've never seen anything like this. Mama Bear smiled. Then you haven't been paying attention, Captain. We're everywhere. And we're always listening. Anna walked up to Logan and tugged on his sleeve. When he crouched down, she threw her arms around his neck and whispered in his ear. Thank you for believing me. Logan's throat tightened. He hugged her back gently. You saved your mom, he said. I just helped. Anna pulled back and smiled, a real, genuine smile. And for the first time that night, Logan smiled too. 3 weeks later, Logan sat in a diner booth nursing a cup of black coffee and staring at the morning newspaper spread across the table. The headline read, Corporate Executive Arrested in Multi-Million-Dollar Fraud Scheme, Truckers Hailed as Heroes. Below it was a photo of Garrett being led into court in handcuffs, his face twisted with anger. The article detailed everything, the embezzlement, the kidnapping, the dramatic rescue. It mentioned the 12 truckers who had blockaded the barn, and it quoted the district attorney saying this was one of the most significant white-collar crime cases in the state's history. Logan folded the paper and took another sip of coffee. His phone had been ringing non-stop for days, reporters wanting interviews, people calling him a hero. He'd ignored most of them. He wasn't interested in fame. He just wanted to get back on the road. The diner door chimed, and Logan looked up. Maria walked in, holding Anna's hand. They both looked different, healthier, lighter, like a weight had been lifted from their shoulders. Maria's bruises had faded to pale yellow, and Anna was wearing a new winter coat, bright red with white buttons. Logan stood as they approached. Didn't expect to see you two here. Maria smiled. We wanted to thank you. Properly. You already thanked me, Logan said. About 50 times. Not enough, Maria insisted. She slid into the booth across from him, and Anna climbed in beside her. Because of you, Garrett's behind bars. The company's under federal investigation. And they offered me my job back, with a promotion and a formal apology. That's good, Logan said. You deserve it. More than that, Maria continued, her voice thick with emotion. You gave me my life back. You gave Anna her mother back. There's no way to repay that. Logan shook his head. You don't owe me anything. I did what was right. Anna reached into her backpack, a new one, purple with silver stars, and pulled out her teddy bear. The same one she'd used to hide the USB drive. The same one she'd swung at Garrett's face. I want you to have this, Anna said, holding it out to Logan. Logan blinked in surprise. Anna, I can't take your bear. Yes, you can, Anna said firmly. My mom always says heroes come in uniforms, police officers, firefighters, soldiers. But I think heroes come in trucks too. Logan felt a lump rise in his throat. He took the bear gently, turning it over in his hands. It was worn and soft, clearly well loved. "You sure about this?" he asked. Anna nodded. "You keep it. So you remember." "I'm not going to forget," Logan said quietly. Maria reached across the table and squeezed his hand. "Neither will we." They sat in comfortable silence for a moment. Then the diner door chimed again, and Captain Hayes walked in, still in uniform. She spotted them and made her way over. "Mind if I join you?" she asked. "Please," Maria said, sliding over to make room. The captain sat down and pulled out a manila folder. "I thought you'd want to know, Garrett's attorneys tried to get the charges reduced. But the judge denied it. With the evidence on that USB drive, plus testimony from you, Maria, he's looking at a minimum of 25 years. Maria closed her eyes and let out a breath she seemed to have been holding for weeks. "It's really over?" "It's really over," the captain confirmed. She looked at Logan. "There's something else. The story's gone national. News outlets are calling it, 'The night the truckers sealed the roads.' There's talk of awarding commendations to everyone involved." Logan shifted uncomfortably. "That's not necessary." "Maybe not," the captain said. "But it's happening anyway. What you and your friends did, it reminded people that ordinary citizens can make a difference. That's worth recognizing." She pulled a business card from her pocket and handed it to Logan. "If you ever need anything, and I mean anything, you call me. You've got friends in law enforcement now." Logan pocketed the card. "Appreciate it, Captain." The captain stood and tipped her hat. "Take care of yourselves." As she left, Anna looked up at Logan with bright eyes. "Are you leaving again? Going back on the road?" Logan nodded. "Got a delivery in Colorado. Leaves tomorrow morning." Anna's face fell slightly, but she tried to hide it. "Will we see you again?" Logan smiled. "I drive through here every few months. I'll stop by. Check in. Make sure your mom's not getting into any more trouble." Maria laughed, a real, genuine laugh that lit up her whole face. "I'll do my best to stay out of trouble." "Good," Logan said. They finished their coffee and said their goodbyes outside the diner. The sun was breaking through the clouds, melting the last remnants of snow from the storm 3 weeks ago. The world felt brighter somehow. Cleaner. As Logan walked back to his truck, he held Anna's teddy bear under his arm. He climbed into the cab, set the bear on the passenger seat, and started the engine. The CB radio crackled to life. "Big rig Logan, this is Hammer. You still in town?" Logan picked up the radio. "Just leaving. What's up?" "Just wanted to say, it was an honor riding with you, brother." "Likewise," Logan said. He pulled out of the parking lot and onto the highway, the morning sun warming the windshield. In the rearview mirror, he could see Maria and Anna standing outside the diner, waving. Logan waved back. Then he turned his eyes forward and drove into the light.